Hindsight is a wonderful thing. And it's all very well me sitting here and spouting my opinions on what went wrong in Who history, but this is the internet. And sadly, we're currently living in a world where everybody wants their voices to be heard, despite the fact that what we're saying is completely wrong. So with that in mind, allow me to present what I would have changed about the trial of a Time Lord. But before I begin, let's explore the production history of Series 23. In 1985, Doctor Who was put on an 18-month hiatus. And due to conflicting reports, it's uncertain the true reason why, but many believe that Michael Grade was responsible, as he originally wanted to cancel the show in 1984 when he came to power within the BBC. Another reason given is the BBC had to save money whilst they launched EastEnders. Which doesn't sit right with me, as it seems like some PR jargon used to cover up the real reason, which was Michael Grade just didn't like the show. And if that is the case, then just how stupid is Michael Grade? That's like a supermarket manager saying he's only going to sell Pepsi just because he doesn't like the taste of Coke. When Doctor Who did return, the show's format had changed. In Series 22, there were 13 episodes, each of which had a runtime of roughly 45 minutes. Whereas in Series 23, there were 14 episodes, which had a runtime of roughly 25 minutes, except for the final episode, which ran for almost 30. No doubt many in the production team must have thought this would be the final series of Doctor Who, and whilst they did a fantastic job, I can't help but think they missed a golden opportunity. The overarching theme of the trial of a Time Lord was the Sixth Doctor had to defend himself against the accusations of the Valeyard. But what if the trial involved his other incarnations and several returning companions? So episode 1 and 2 would seem just like a normal Doctor Who story. Except at the end of episode 2, the Doctor is forced back to Gallifrey to stand trial for his supposed crimes. Episode 2 would also see the return of the Silurians and the departure of Peri as she returns back to 1984. Episode 3 and 4 would feature the return of Peter Davison as the Fifth Doctor, along with Tegan, Turlough and Nyssa as they battle the Nestene Consciousness and the Autons. Now I know what you're thinking. It is extremely unlikely that Tom Baker would return to Doctor Who. And you're right. But episode 5 and 6 could incorporate clips from Shada, whilst any vital unfilmed sequences could be explained by the Valeyard questioning a returning Romana. Episodes 7 and 8 would see John Pertwee return as the Third Doctor as he battles the Cybermen alongside Joe Grant and UNIT. In episodes 9 and 10, Patrick Troughton would return as the Second Doctor alongside Jamie and Victoria as they once again battled the Daleks. Episode 11 and 12 would feature the First Doctor visiting Ian and Barbara during the 1980s when a Sontaran invasion happens. Obviously the First Doctor would have to be recast, again, so why not bring in Peter Cushing? Finally, episode 13 and 14 would feature the Sixth Doctor going up against the Master and the Zygons, with the Master revealing the Valeyard's true identity during episode 14. The Valeyard and the Sixth Doctor would then battle it out, which leads to the Sixth Doctor regenerating into the Seventh Doctor. So do you think my version could have worked if I was in charge of Doctor Who when I was less than 2 years old?
No.